everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Saturday here, and so today I'm jumping on and I'm going to make a project using the Friendly Gnomes stamp set. Now, this stamp set coordinates with the Gnomes dies that was in the last mini catalog that the stamp set retired. The previous stamp set retired, get the words out. But the gnome dies did not, and they coordinate with this new Friendly Gnomes stamp set that is in the January to April mini catalog. So that's what I'm going to do today. Hey, Betty. Oh, gosh, the temperature's warmed up for you. We are starting to get, it's kind of been snowing a little bit off and on. We're supposed to get a dump of snow today and overnight. And then hopefully it's turning to rain overnight because I'm getting tired of this, but then we get more in a week or so. So anyway, not nearly as cold, although yesterday morning here on the island, it was -11, felt like -17. We're not used to that. We're a little wimpy. So, all right, morning. I don't know who that is that said good morning, but welcome. You're coming in through Facebook. So don't forget to go and do streamyard.com/Facebook, and then I can see who's actually commenting. All right, let's switch over and let's make a card. Now, I've done a little bit of the pre-work for this card because I didn't think, hey, Jacqueline, welcome. I didn't think you wanted to see me do a whole bunch of coloring. So I'm using this cute little gnome here with the pigtails, and I've colored the mushroom. And so I'm going to use those, and I've already gone ahead and cut out. Now, first of all, I have no brace. Yay. Saw the doctor yesterday and I am out of my brace. Do need to do exercises because I don't have much flexibility in my hand. There's still some pain. But no more brace unless I'm doing something where I'm carrying something heavy, or when I go to yoga, I have to wear my brace, and I'm going to be referred to the hand clinic to get some physio. So I'm just waiting for that. So anyway, look, feels good. Got my ring back on. It's all exciting. Okay. All right. So I've got a piece of soft succulent here. This is such a pretty color. This is one of the in colors that will be, let's measure that, should be, oh, yeah, it looked like it was a little long. So this is cut 5.5 by 8.5. So I'm just going to trim it slightly. And then it'll be scored at 4 1/4. Yeah, still feeling a little bit, still getting used to not having a brace on and not trying to push it too much. Yes, I got my wedding ring back on. I put my other little ring on. It felt a little tight, so we're just going to leave that one off for the time being. All right, so I've scored that. Hold it to the mountain or the raised line. Hello, Jan. Welcome. All right, so I've got my card base. Now, I've got a few things I haven't used until recently. So I've got a piece of basic white cardstock that I'm going to emboss. And now this is the fine shimmer specialty paper, fine shimmer glimmer paper. I guess that's what it's called. It comes in 3 colors. I'm using 2 of the colors. So it comes in the soft succulent, it comes in gold, and it comes in fresh freesia. So I'm going to use the gold across this, and I've cut out already some little pieces for the grass, the plants around. So this is really fun. It doesn't, it's not like glitter paper that you're going to get anything coming off of. And it's really pretty. Okay. The other thing that is new that I'm using, these will be available for customers to buy starting March 1st. They're part of some of the online exclusives that are coming out. So you've seen me use the Hello Irresistible or Irresistible Blooms suite. These are a set of 3 3D embossing folders. So there's one, this one's got kind of crosshatch on it. This one's dots. And then this one is a really pretty kind of almost a flower pattern. It's kind of hard to see, quite detailed. I'm going to use the crosshatch one. I just want something kind of really subtle. So these are a bundle of 3 embossing folders that you can get starting March 1st. Now, all of these March they are online exclusives, which means they won't appear in catalogs, but they will be in my online store. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and adhere the glimmer paper to my basic white cardstock. Now the white is cut. The basic white is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm going to adhere that. Oops, straight, hopefully straight. Okay, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to emboss this whole piece in this cross hatch pattern. Get it kind of straight in there. And then let's bring this in. All right, don't need that. Okay, let's get the right plates on here. This is a 3D embossing folder. So we need plate number 1 and we need plate number 4. And when you run these through, always run them through with either the open end of the embossing folder or the hinged end. Don't run them through sideways. They will fit through sideways. I haven't had any issues recently, but there was a time when the embossing folders would actually kind of rip if you put them through in the wrong direction. So, all right, so let's take that, move it out of the way. So I don't know if you can see there. There we go. It's just a really very subtle pattern. I just love anything that's kind of got that really subtle texture to it. It doesn't overtake the back, you know, the background at all. It's just really pretty. And this one's, oh, I really like this one. So some liquid glue. I like to use liquid glue when I use an embossing folder, just so it gets into the nooks and crannies. And the interesting thing is I decided to put some gold on here. And when I put that gold shimmer, it was just kind of like, it was so, it just kind of, I felt it took over the card. But just when you take and emboss it, it just, even though it's quite bold on here, it just kind of tones it down a little bit. Now, as I said, I've already gone ahead and done some coloring because I didn't think that you would want to watch me color because there are a fair amount of coloring on these. So this mushroom I colored in Calypso Coral, light and dark, shaded spruce for the door and leaves, flirty flamingo for the flowers, and I think soft suede for the stepping stones. And I cut it out using one of the smaller stylish shapes dies. I think it's actually, it's the middle one. It's the third largest, no, actually 1, 2, 3. It's the 4th largest. So stylish shape circle. Okay, so that's what I colored that with. And then my little gnome, I colored her hat and her dress in soft succulent, her hair in Daffodil Delight, her shoes in So Saffron. Oh, and the hair I also added some crumb cake to because it was just too blonde. Flirty Flamingo, and then her face and hands I did in Petal Pink. I think that's everything that I have on there. So it was a bit of coloring. Didn't think you wanted to see me do that. I find coloring very relaxing, but when you've got lots to do, and I just didn't think you wanted to see me. So I thought that I was just going to take these and kind of put the mushroom there and put her there. Now, I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do for the sentiment yet. There are some really cute sentiments in here. Spring is everywhere. Well, given the fact that there's many inches of snow on my front yard, I don't think that's good. Maybe we'll do this one that says, "There's no one better than you." cute ones. Let's see. Also got a balloon here. The balloon's calling to me, so maybe I am going to do a little bit of coloring. So let's put the balloon on there and the sentiment on there. I was going to stamp in, all right, Memento, which has disappeared, so let's grab one. Okay, we're going to stamp in Memento. So let's stamp the balloon. Like that. And then we'll stamp the sentiment like that. Now, if I was going to color a balloon, what color would I color the balloon? Maybe we'll do the balloon in Daffodil Delight. I started to go through my Stampin' blends. I use my blends all the time, but I have extras of some of the colors. And I've been using them over the last few days and realized that it's starting to get time to replace some of my blends. But I have noticed that if you go to use it and it feels like it's kind of dried out or low on ink in, say, this fine tip end, try the brush end, because you may find that it isn't dried out on that end. So there may still be some ink in the other end. As always, I'm going to fussy cut. You can use a die or a punch. I'll get all this cut out and then I'll figure out where we're going to put them on. There we go. Now the balloon. Okay, so I'm just going to take, now I'm going to just cut around the string on the balloon. One of the things you can do is just take and cut the balloon itself and then use some twine, which is always kind of cute, but I didn't grab my twine. Trying to get somewhat close to the balloon so there's not all the white around it, but not doing a very good job of that. All right. There we go. So there's the balloon. We'll just put that in her hand like that. Up there. Just trying to decide where we'll go. Maybe we'll put the balloon that way. Okay, there we go. Now let's use dimensionals. Sandy, lots of practice with fussy cutting. Once you kind of get into the groove, I don't mind fussy cutting. In fact, sometimes I will even just fussy cut, even if there's a die or a punch. I just find sometimes if it's little, it's easier to just grab my paper snips. Just remember to steer with the hand that's got the paper. You'll find you'll be much more successful if you do that than trying to steer with your scissors. All right, so dimensionals on this mushroom, the mushroom house, the fairy house. And then we'll pop her up as well. Down to the end of my dimensionals on this piece. So we're just using up the edges. Something very satisfying. Hey, Johanna, welcome. Something very satisfying about using up a whole sheet of dimensionals. Okay, so let's put her there. And then I'm going to just use a glue dot. If you can find, there we are. There's the glue dots. A glue dot underneath the bottom of the string. And she says, getting the glue dot stuck on everything. And then maybe just a mini dimension. Oh no, they've got whole dimensional there. I just need a little dimensional for the balloon. So I'm going to put this under her hand like that. Okay, now keep going there, but maybe it's there. All right. I need my mini dimensionals for the edges. One there, one there. I think it's going down there. I don't know. Part of me is saying that's really cluttered down in the bottom, but part of me likes it down there. So that's where it's going. I have some of these pastel adhesive backed sequins. So I'm going to use some of the gold ones. They've come in blue, pink, and then this lovely gold. I've used so many of these gold ones. So let's just take and some like that. That kind of balances it out a little bit. And then somewhere I have a piece of basic white. So let's just take the balloon. And I'm a bottom right corner. So I'm just going to take and color. Now, when you're coloring, don't forget to make sure you've got, with blends, doesn't matter so much with the markers, but when you're coloring with your blends, make sure that you have something underneath it and not your card, because you can see sort of it's starting to bleed through already. It's because these are alcohol markers, it will bleed through. So you want to make sure you've got something. Oh, you know what I didn't put on? I cut out, oh goodness, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I went ahead and cut out some mushrooms and some of the plants to put around her. So let's put those on the front when I get this in. We'll do the inside of the card. Almost forgot that. You ever done that before? I've done it so many times where you get all prepared for making a card, and then when you finally have the card. Now this piece I actually cut to be 3 3/4 by 5. So you're seeing a little bit more of the card base than normal. Normally I cut the inside to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. But for this one, I cut it a little bit smaller. All right, so let's, like I said, I went ahead and cut out 2 mushroom caps, 2 of the plants, and then the little mushroom stems. As I said, I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use, but let's at least, if I can pick that up. There we go. Let's at least put some around. I think I can kind of just tuck these maybe underneath her. I think so. All right, we're just going to use glue dots and tuck these underneath. I have to lift this up a bit. I can. Let's just do that. Lift up on this dimensionals. Note to self. Think about what you cut out in advance. All right, so we'll go. Then we'll do that. Tuck that underneath like that. I think I won't do that. Let's do one mushroom as well. So these little mushroom caps, there are dies, and so they are just so cute. Where am I going to put this? Because I really want to use it. Should have thought about this beforehand. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then this is the stem. There are two different stems. One's bigger than the other. So I'm just going to lift this up, and we'll just put a little mushroom there. It's getting a little cluttered now, but anyway, I did want to use some of them. Anyway, there we go. We've kind of finished off and at least used some of my die cuts that I went to the work of die cutting. We'll use those on another card. If you have die cuts left over that you've used, just put them into your stamp case, and that way you've always got them where you want to use them. All right, there we go. There's my cute little gnome card. Don't forget to take a look at the new products that are coming out March 1st. In my online store. Like I said, you can get the 3 of these embossing folders. The Hello Irresistible Sweet, amazing bundle with designer series paper and some embellishments. And then there's also a alphabet stamp that's coming. I don't have it. And then apparently there's some other ones that we haven't seen yet. So we get to see them when everybody else gets to see them. So don't forget on March 1st to take a look at the online exclusives. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope it won't be too cold and snowy where you are. We're just waiting for the snow to really start here. All right, I'll be back live at 12 noon Pacific tomorrow. So I hope you can join me then. Thanks, everybody. Happy stamping. Bye.